The quiet hum of the city at midnight made it easy to think no one was awake. On the edge of town, in a small, seemingly ordinary house, lights glowed warmly through lace curtains. Inside, a petite, wrinkled woman shuffled between her kitchen and living room, humming a tune that had survived generations. She was Grandma Elsie. Outside, two alien figures hovered in the shadows. Their ships were sleek, low-profile craft built for stealth and speed. Their species, the Vaughn, were known across several galaxies for their precision thefts. Rare minerals, alien artifacts, high-tech weapons, nothing was beyond their reach. But tonight they had set their sights on something different. Easy pickings, one whispered, his voice a hiss of metallic echoes. He was taller than the human standard, with pale lavender skin and eyes like liquid silver. "Do you even know what you're stealing?" the other asked, shorter, bulkier, with dark green scales that shimmered faintly under the streetlight. The first, named Krell, waved a claw dismissively. "Does it matter? Old human houses are full of trinkets. Old tech, junk, they call it antiques. We call it credits." The second Flog grinned, revealing jagged teeth. "Credits, right. Let's get in and out before she notices." They crept to the side of the house, scanning the perimeter. Sensors and scanners were unnecessary. Their species had instincts for detection, especially for intelligent life. Or so they thought. Krell picked the lock with mechanical precision. Flog crouched, ready to enter first. The door clicked open. They slipped inside. Grandma Elsie was humming louder now. She was stirring something in a pot on the stove. The aroma of fresh-baked bread filled the house. She didn't hear them, or so they assumed. Inside, Krell's eyes widened at the shelves lined with strange devices. There were little trinkets of human history, a rotary phone, a typewriter, a stack of dusty books. In the corner was a display case, carefully locked. Inside lay objects that shimmered faintly, strange crystals that pulsed with energy. "This is it," Krell whispered, stepping toward the case. "This is what we came for." Flog's hands were already on the lock. He pried it open, expecting minimal resistance. The lock clicked, the case swung open. Then a sharp whistle filled the room. "Who's in my kitchen?" Grandma Elsie's voice was calm, almost sweet. But there was steel hidden beneath it. The aliens froze. Their instincts screamed at them. This human, this old woman, had a presence they didn't understand. She wasn't running, she wasn't screaming. She was waiting. Krell's tail twitched. We just came to." "Browse, Elsie asked, leaning on her cane. "At midnight." Flog hissed. "She's no ordinary human. She's ancient." Elsie smiled. Then, faster than the eye could follow, she swung the cane. It wasn't just a cane, it was a multi-purpose energy staff disguised as one. Flog yelped as he was knocked backward into a chair. Sparks flew. The chair exploded under him. Krell lunged forward, claws out. Elsie sidestepped, rolling across the floor. She slammed her cane into the ground. A shockwave radiated out. Krell's legs buckled. He barely held his balance. "You picked the wrong house," Elsie said. The aliens looked at each other. They had faced mercenaries, space soldiers, and even planetary defense drones, but never a human of this size and apparent age who moved like a predator. Flog scrambled to his feet. "We can retreat. We can leave. No harm done," Elsie laughed. It wasn't the laugh of someone afraid. It was the laugh of someone who had survived wars, plagues, and invasions across the decades. "You can try," she said. The fight was swift. Elsie's small frame was deceiving. Her cane extended into a staff, slicing through the air, knocking the aliens back. Sparks flew, glass shattered, and alarms silently triggered in the neighborhood. Yet Elsie didn't move like she was panicked. Every step, every strike, every motion was calculated. Flog attempted to grab a glowing crystal from the shelf. Elsie's eyes narrowed. She tapped her cane twice. A force field sprang up, repelling him across the room. He landed in a heap, groaning. "You really should have stayed home and baked cookies," she said, almost casually, as if her words carried more weight than their weapons. Krell growled. "This is insane. She's just a human, old, weak. You feel that?" "Feel what?" "That presence," Krell hissed. "Commanding, dangerous." Elsie raised an eyebrow. "You sense danger. You've never met me." It wasn't just her words. It was the way the room seemed to pulse around her. The glowing crystals responded, lighting up in rhythm with her heartbeat. The Vaughn's instincts screamed at them that they were no longer predators. They were prey. Krell backed toward the door. We underestimated her. Let's retreat." "We regroup." "Not yet," Elsie said. She tapped the staff against the floor. Gravity shifted. The aliens' feet stuck. They tried to leap, but the force held them. Flog shouted, struggling. "What kind of human are you?" Elsie shook her head, smiling gently now. "A human of my era. We didn't just survive wars on Earth. We survived the collapse of civilizations. We survived invaders, conquerors, and thieves. You are not the first foolish beings to think they could take what isn't theirs." Krell and Flog exchanged panicked glances. They were highly trained, highly experienced, but this human grandmother wasn't just experienced. She was exceptional. Elsie tapped her staff again. A holographic map appeared above the table, showing the alien ships outside. Their engines were charging. They hid back up. She gestured, and the map zoomed into their ships, displaying weak points. "You want to run?" she asked, tilting her head. "I can make it." "Very uncomfortable." Flog whimpered. Krell growled, then hissed in their alien tongue. "We didn't expect this. We didn't plan for human intelligence. Let's retreat." Before they could move, Elsie lunged, her speed impossible for their eyes to track. In moments, she had disabled their exosuits with precise strikes. Sparks erupted. Claws and scales clattered to the floor. The Vaughn were not used to defeat like this. They had been stopped before, captured, sometimes destroyed, but never humiliated by a creature they assumed was weak. "Now," Elsie said, pointing her staff at them, "you leave, and you never come back." Krell nodded, trembling. We will leave. We underestimated humans." Flog groaned, backing out, trying to regain his composure. You are bubbly." Elsie shook her head. "I am a grandmother. I have lived long enough to know when to fight and when to let go. But I never let thieves take what is mine." The aliens stumbled outside, retreating to their ships. Engines roared, and then they were gone, leaving nothing but scorched earth where they had landed. Grandma Elsie leaned on her staff, breathing steadily. She surveyed the room. Some shelves were damaged. The glowing crystals were intact. The kitchen was mostly unharmed. She smiled. And they thought it would be easy, she muttered. Then she laughed, soft and warm, echoing through the quiet house. The next morning, the neighbors whispered about the bright lights and loud noises in the night. Some called the police, others called the local news. No one saw anything suspicious. Just an old woman tending her garden, humming a tune. Elsie didn't bother explaining. Why would she? The universe already knew. Humans were not weak. Humans were unpredictable. Humans could survive the impossible. And humans could be terrifying when underestimated. A week later, a package arrived at her doorstep. Inside was a small note in alien script. It read, "We underestimated you. We apologize. We will never return." Elsie chuckled. She set the note beside her teapot. Another day, another loaf of bread to bake. But in the corner of the house, the crystals pulsed faintly, as if approving of her victories. She poured herself a cup of tea and sat by the window, watching the sun rise. The galaxy was vast. Danger lurked in every shadow. But humans had something no one could predict. Strength, cunning, heart, and a grandmother like Elsie. She was legend in her own quiet way, and somewhere, far in the cosmos, two alien thieves recounted the night they met a human grandmother and swore never to make the same mistake again. Asterisk.